Good afternoon, race fans, and welcome to the show. I'm Brett the Jet in the booth here tonight with Turn 3 Racing Network, and I got my boosted brother with the broadcast as well. Carson, how we doing tonight?
Guess who's back? Back again. I'm doing good, Brett. How are you?
I'm doing great myself, Carson. Thanks for asking. As it's going to be a wild one here tonight. Martinsville went flag to flag last week. That was very impressive. I don't see that as much in the cards here tonight as we go to Irwindale Inner Track. It's going to be wild.
Yeah, Brett. And this race twice as long. A little track here, but not being little, not much room. A lot of door banging and bumper banging here tonight.
Yeah, and luckily in the street stocks, drivers can do that all the time here and not bring out a yellow. You know, these cars actually do pretty well with the damage contacts. So it's going to definitely be some very, very exciting racing throughout the night here tonight. As looking at some quick times here in practice, Carson, a 15:08 by Zach Nichols. I think he might be the favorite to walk away with the quick time.
I think he is every week, Brett. And he's on an island right now. We haven't really seen that. He's the only one in the 15-0s right now.
Yeah, he is. So we'll see if he can back that up here in qualifying as we head on over to qualifying right now, Carson.
Who's going to be first out, Brett?
Yeah, I don't know, Carson. We'll keep an eye here, see who rolls to the grid here or rolls out of their pit box, let's say, first. But yeah, here we go, qualifying around 15-second lap. So things are going to go by quick as a lot of cars heading quickly to pit road or out on track, let's say. First driver we're going to take a look at here, the 51 of Ron Hart. 51 machine on the clock here, a really wide out lap here, and you can see with this track how much the drivers have to be turning as Ron Hart very, very tight. You see him leaving black marks off of both ends of the raceway on both straightaways as Andrew Payne quickly goes to quick time with a 15:15 as times start flooding on in here, Carson.
Yeah, Brett. And this setup very tight, so you got to be really precise, getting on the gas and hitting your braking points.
Yeah, that you do. So now we take a look here at the 44 machine. Zach Nichols heading out to take his lap. The 44 here at the stripe is on the clock here tonight. Right now, Andrew Payne still up at the top of the pylon. Not anymore. Logan Powers, quick time in that number 31 machine. Here comes Zach Nichols, lap number 1 here in the books. Zach Nichols, 15:09 or 15:1, Carson. Wow.
Does it again, another 15-0. That's incredible.
Yeah, that it is. As we take a look at Jimmy Gauker. Gauker, P number 2, lap number 1 for the 2. He's going to shut it down after that. And how about this guy, Carson? From the booth last night, we have Jason Griffith out here, racing Jason, as he gets behind the wheel. I'm excited to see what this 033 machine does here tonight.
Yeah, he does a great job with Alan in the booth, and we'll see if he can do just as good on the track.
Yeah, right now, lap number 1 for Jason looks like P24 here, so he will definitely start deep as with the 10-car invert. I think that puts Devin McDonald on the pole here tonight, Carson.
Yeah, Brett. The 18 car will be starting on the pole with a 15-2.
Yeah, that he will be as we take a looking through all those times, and I tell you what, separated by less than 0.2 of a second through the top 20. Wow, that is awesome to see. It's amazing how close these times are week in and week out here in the street stocks.
Yeah, Brett, just shows the skill level of this league. All these guys so good, and usually the times are just under a blanket.
Yeah, and that they are once again here tonight at Irwindale Inner, and once again, got to give a big congratulations, another pole award for Zach Nichols. And looking over at kind of the overall stats here in the league, you know, most ever poles is being held by Andrew Payne with 30 of them. all time. But with the pole here tonight, Carson, that moves Zach up into P2 of poles with now 16 to his name.
Yeah, Brett, doesn't surprise me. He's just been picking them up week after week in this series.
Yeah, definitely very, very cool. And Carson, we kind of didn't have a reference time coming into tonight. Street stocks here in ASRC have never been to Irwindale Inner, so Zach Nichols by default with the quick time here tonight, walking away with the ASRC track record.
Yeah, Brett, I was hearing rumblings that like a low 15-0 in these would be absolutely flying, and we saw Zach just a little bit higher than what I anticipated maybe, but a high 15-0, that's fine still.
Yeah, it definitely is. I mean, very, very impressive stuff. I don't know if we should maybe try and get a word with Zach here while we got maybe a few seconds here.
I say we might as well, Brett.
Alrighty, we'll get a word with Zach Nichols here and chat with him here for a quick second. As we had to mute the good old iRacing chat, not get that interference. So let's talk with Zach quick. Zach, my man, do you got a copy?
Yep.
Alrighty, so we kind of heard rumblings that a 15-0 was possible. You go out there and put it on pole here once again with a 15-09 or a 15-1. I mean, man, that is flying.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we messed up 3 and 4 slightly, but it could have been slightly better. But yeah, I mean, a 15-0 here around here is pretty good. So I'm glad we were able to get the pole with it. And actually, I'm not really glad we got pole because now we got to start deep in the field. So it's gonna be fun trying to drive through the field and get back up there.
Yeah, rolling off P number 10. At least you're not at the back of the whole entire pack this week. How much does that kind of change the mindset, let's say, and what's the game plan? A long race, 125 laps here.
Oh yeah, it changes the game plan a lot. At Martinsville, we started dead last because we won the previous week, and unfortunately, David Patton, he's gonna have to start back there this week. So hopefully he can make his way through. But it's a definite difficult task to come from last to getting up there in the top 5.
Yeah, that it definitely will be. So we'll let you go here, get some practice laps in if you need it. You probably don't need too much here, so we will.
We're gonna need it.
Yeah, we'll let you get at least dialed on him. But before we do, anyone you want to give a quick shout out to on the broadcast?
Oh yeah, I'd like to shout my Uncle Kenny out. He's watching. My dad, he's probably watching. You guys for always putting a great broadcast on, and looking forward to racing.
Alrighty, we are as well. So Zach, good luck here tonight. Hopefully that thing, well, only a matter of time before that thing tries to start making its way to the front.
Yeah.
Alrighty, Carson, that was Zach Nichols. Always love talking to him. He's always a great time.
Yeah, he's a great guy and really has these cars figured out, Brett.
Yeah, that he does. And oh man, Carson, 20 more seconds here in warm-up, then we turn him loose for 125 laps. I mean, tire saving definitely has to be in the mind of these guys. I mean, I think the longest race here on the schedule here tonight, it's got to be on the forefront of everyone's minds.
Oh yeah, you can kill the right front here, especially with the tight setup like this. You got to be careful at first, not to push 100%.
Yeah, that we will. So here, warm up in the books, and here we go, Carson. 29 cars here tonight to make it on this Irwindale Inner. It's gonna be insane to watch.
Yeah, Brett, 30 cars. I think that's a record this season for turnout. It's going to be awesome. You saw the qualifying times, most guys within a tenth or two, so it's going to be some close door-to-door racing.
Yeah, that it will be. And I was actually mistaken, Carson. It's going to be a 12-car invert, so that actually puts
Matthew Makuletsky.
Yeah, the 099 car on the pole here. So let's run through tonight's starting order and make sure I get things right here. So yeah, the 099 Matthew Modulewski will lead the field to green there. Rolling off on the inside of the front row. To his outside will be the 06. That is, of course, the sorry, the 6 on the car. That is Mark Fuqua.
Okay.
Fuqua, sorry. I'm glad you're here, Carson, to get names right. Then we head to P number 3. That will be the 18 of Dev McDonald. And to his outside would be the 24. That is Shane O'Neill. Then in P number 5 will be the 23 of Greggy Long.
Picking up from there, starting to his outside. In the 6th position, it will be the 88 car of Chuck Darling. On the inside of the next row, starting 7th, will be the 33 of Ty Delphia. And then to his outside, it'll be the 93 car of Andrew Payne rolling off 8th. To the inside of the next row, starting 9th, it'll be the 31 car of Logan Powers. And then to round out the top 10, it'll be the 02 of Jimmy Gauker.
Alrighty, yes it is. Then we pick up from there. P number 11 will be the 011 car of Jaden Kratachi. To his outside, our quick time here tonight will be the 44 of Zach Nichols. Then after that, rolling off P number 13 will be Hayden Swank in the 35. And then supposed to be to his outside is Dave Payne. Dave Payne, of course, starting at the back of the pack. And then P number 15 will be the 7 car, making his debut here in the Street Stock Series this season. It is Zane Cruz.
Starting to his outside in the 16th position, it'll be the 66 car of Stephen Rochford. Inside next row, starting 17th, will be the 52 of Jeff Dillon. To his outside, starting 18th, it'll be the 45 of Andrew Hardings. Inside on the next row, starting 19th, will be the 05 of Scott Austin. And then to round out your top 20, it'll be the 51 of Ron the Hitman Hart.
Picking up from there, 21st will be Jason Griffith in the 033. 22nd will be the 13 of Zach Coyer. 23rd is Colby Garrett in the 25. 24th is John DeMeester. 25th is Braden Cook.
And to finish off the field, to the outside of Braden Cook, in the 26th position will be the 077 of Scott Rochford. To the inside in the next row, starting 27th, it'll be the 013 of Caleb Ramsey. To the outside, at the tail end, starting 28th, will be the 3 car of Mike McCaskill.
And then final car is the 55 of Scott Negus and Carson. Here we go. 125 laps. Front row, Moduleski and Mark. Here we go. I'm excited.
Yeah, Brett, this should be a lot of fun here tonight. We'll have to see how long it stays green, though.
Yep, but green flag is out. We go green flag racing here at Irwindale. Enter the field. We'll dive down into turn number 1. Front 2 able to get single file. Then throughout the field, it is 2 by 2 as far as you can see.
Yeah, bro, we had some 3 wide early, but now it looks like the 45 is tucked back in behind Ron Hart.
Yeah, that it does. We did a shot throughout the field, and man, there is a lot of street stocks out here on this tiny track. Before you know it, Carson, I think we'll get into some lap traffic here.
Yeah, Brett, and already you see drivers making moves and drivers dropping back. I'm surprised Zach Nichols, it seems like he's dropping back right now.
Yeah,
he's already saving his tires.
Yeah, I think that is his game plan in the 44. You know, now down 5 spots from where he started. I think, especially because he can't get an open lane down on the inside lane here, Carson. He's probably just riding up top, taking it easy on those tires because he knows there's a long way left to go here tonight.
Yeah, Brett, so far, cordial driving, everyone giving each other some room and some respect. I don't think it'll be like that way for the whole race.
Nope, as most of the field now single file wrapping that inside white and yellow line out here tonight. First side by side here, Andrew Payne trying to get something done on the top side of Shane O'Neill.
Yeah, Brett. Oh, he pinches him coming off of 4 there and just clips his right front quarter panel. And now it looks like, oh, I was going to say, I thought he had room there, but it doesn't look like it's still stuck up top. Oh!
Yeah, some contact there as these guys battling for P number 7. We saw a shot in the shorts to Andrew there from the 24. One car back there very sideways. I think that was the 7 of Zane Cruz getting her out of shape off of turn number 2. He's able to get to the inside of Hayden Swank, but sideways there as we will jump on board with Swank looking at the number 7 here, and they may almost make contact there in 1 and 2. Man, oh man, Carson, I tell you what, already some great racing to start, and let's ride on board with Ron Hart watching some side-by-side racing right in front of him here, as you can see him working that wheel, and just the amount of wheel you have to have on this tiny little track, always turning to the left.
Yeah, Brett. More important than the wheel in the car, though, is your gas and braking points. It's very vital here.
Oh, for sure, Carson. You do not want to start blowing off those tires, either the right front or the right rear, with the throttle. You know, if you start pushing, get on the throttle, you're only scraping that tire balder and balder as this race goes on here. But here, 14 laps in the book so far.
I think the 25 just got turned.
I was just about to say, so far clean and green, but yeah, as we see Colby Garrett here stopped on the inside. Looks like we'll tow back, so we'll now jump up to the front here. Not too much has happened up front. Everyone kind of just clicking off the laps here early. Matthew Modulewski's still out in front leading this race here.
Yeah, so far, so good, I'd say, Brett. We thought maybe we'd see more aggression and more people lean on each other. We've seen some, but so far hasn't translated into any cautions.
Yeah, that it has not yet. And that's, like we said, the beauty of these street stocks. You can kind of lean on to each other and get away with some contact here. As here we go, battle for P number 3 shaping on up. We have Long looking to the inside of McDonald. Long will drive it in there deep, 4-wheel drift. It somehow hang on to that race car and not collect Devin McDonald there. Woohoo! As we start to get deeper in this run, Carson, I'm sure you can see it, I can see it as well, especially from these further cams. A lot of marbles already starting to be built up here. It's for sure now only a 2-groove lane racetrack, let's say.
Yeah, marbles up high all around the track. If you run that high groove right against the wall, the car won't get any grip up there, Brett.
Yeah, that is for sure. And with that non-grip, you know, that means the car won't turn on entry or be able to get the drive off exit. So it gets very, very sketchy very quickly up in those marbles. But here we go. First yellow flag here out here tonight, Carson. Do you see where it's at about? Looks like maybe our man Jason involved in this yellow. We're going to go take a look here at the turn 3 replay. Try and see if anything's going on. Off of turn number 2 looks all right.
Yeah, Brett. I see it. Andrew Harding's got in the back of him. I don't know what happened beforehand. My replay's all messed up, but Jason Griffith got bumped by Andrew Harding's.
Actually, I don't think they made contact, Carson. I think Jason Griffith, his motor blew up because you see a puff
Oh, yeah,
of
you're
smoke.
right, Brett.
Yeah, that is wild. We're going to watch that full speed here, try and look a little bit closer, but the 033 car going into the corner, a puff of smoke, and that thing spins around, yeah, like it locks up, and yeah, that motor done on that car. Oh, man.
Yeah, Brett, he just said smoked in the iRacing chat, so he blew the motor.
Wow. So another thing these drivers are going to have to keep an eye on here tonight is temperature gauge. I don't think anyone had that in their no cards here coming into tonight.
And especially this early, you think you're shifting through the turns, Brett? How'd that happen?
I don't think so. The only thing I know with these street stocks, if you get some nose damage, they are very sensitive to that, especially allowing the air into the air box and then through the radiator. So I'm not sure if Jason had some nose damage. It didn't really look like it though, so very,
Yeah.
very strange.
I mean, there's some, but nothing nothing too egregious, so I don't know what happened.
Yeah, so
Yeah, so now race control concerned that that might be a trend that continues, Brett.
yeah, it sounds like it. I'm hearing it as well, and they say if that's an issue, if uh, motors start getting close, we may have to back down the field just to allow everyone to finish this race.
Wow, that was crazy. That's something I don't think I've ever seen in ASRC, Brett.
No, I've definitely never seen anything like that before. But like I said, these guys can definitely, at least these street stocks can have some weird heat stuff. We're looking out way outside the track here. Just the amount of cars out here on track is awesome. But here we go, back to green flag racing. Moduleski once away with a great start. And look at this, Carson, that 88 machine, our points leader, Chuck Darling, up into P number 4, maybe looking for P number 3.
This driver has been a man on a mission this season, showing speed we haven't really seen out of him. Like, he's had great finishes, but he's been contending for wins week in and week out, Brett.
Yeah, that he has, as we have a car looped around the wrong way. It looks like the 24 of Shane O'Neill, and that will bring out a quick second yellow flag here tonight. But yeah, I think the bigger thing with Chuck Darling is he definitely has jumped up in speed this season, but I think the luck on his side definitely helping him, because between him and Dave Payne, I think they're two of the least lucky drivers when they load into a session.
Oh yeah, Brett. As in the wreck here, it looks like O'Neill came in a bit hot and got into the bumper of Kurtachi and then just went around in front of Zach Nichols.
Yeah, we're taking a look here on the turn 3 replay here. We see Shane O'Neill up to the top side of Zach Coyer. And then, yeah, like you said, got in there a little hot. And that's not even the right lap. Let's see if this shows a better time.
Yeah, Brett, the iRacing server's been all messed up tonight.
Yeah. It definitely hasn't been the best night for an iRacing server. All right, here we go. We finally got to the right spot here. Of course, just right around is when we jump to it, but that's kind of the ending part of it. So here we go. This should finally get a replay here, Carson. We finally got the right spot. As, yeah, taking a look at Shane O'Neill to the inside of Ron Hart here, going down the front stretch. Logan Powers very, very wide. And yeah, like you said, Carson, just got in there a little bit too hot. That back end steps on out, and Zach Nichols having nowhere to go. Now, Nichols has to be a little bit concerned about that front end damage, because as we know now, overheating definitely an issue here tonight. As here we go back to the front. We go back to green flag racing here on lap 33. Moduleski away with a great start. Here comes Greggy Long, though, the winner of the first 2 late model stock races, up here trying to battle for a win. And then Chuck Darling now into P number 3. Oh, big stack up here off of turn number 4.
Kevin McDonald got into the back of Fuquay there, Brett.
Oh man, 3 wide,
3 wide
racing here.
Door to door.
Yeah, 3 wide down the backstretch at Irwindale Inner. You know, we saw some 4, 5 wide at the outer track, but I would have never guessed we see 3 wide racing here tonight at the inner.
I don't think this is going to end well, Brett.
Yeah, they're bumping and banging big time here. Here comes Jaden Kurtachi trying to get his nose to the inside of McDonald. He will force it on in there. McDonald will come back down. Wow, how'd they keep facing the right direction, Carson?
I thought Jane Kurtachi was going around us. Now it's 3 wide further back with Andrew on the door of another car.
Yeah, Andrew Payne up in the way outside distance of the racetrack, having to go around the long way and getting freight trained here at the start of this restart. Definitely not driving in the right direction there for the 93, now all the way back to 15.
And just a quick update too from race control. If it wasn't obvious, Shane O'Neill was the claim on that last caution, Brett.
Alrighty, thanks for the update there. You gotta love when you hear drivers claiming out in front, kind of a four-ish car breakaway. Then we have Ty there in fifth, but now being hunted down by some fast guys behind him, Ron Hart, Zach Nichols. And how about this guy, Zane Cruz here, first start in these street stocks here tonight and running P number 8.
Yeah, Brett, pretty good for a debut. Looks like he's got some good speed out there.
Yeah, that it does, as stuff's starting to calm on down here just a little bit.
As this 51 car, Ron Hart, Brett, I don't know if you've seen him. He's charging through the field. He's pushing that car.
Yeah, we'll go.
7 just got into the 33 there, Brett, and they both went around, but we're going green still.
Wow, definitely some crazy racing out here tonight. We thought it was calming on down. I think it's the exact opposite. It's Devin McDonald once again in a 3-wide situation up on top.
Oh, Andrew Payne almost spun out. You see that, Brett? Oh,
Yeah.
and he did not like that.
Yeah, it sounds like it. Here comes Payne coming back in. He will tag the 13. And wow, how did Ramsey hang on to that 4-wide here? Oh, they're still beating him bang, and there they go. The 18 around. McCaskill will get a piece of it.
Yeah, that wasn't very patient racing, Brett. Oh, man.
Is other stuff going on, Carson?
No, I was just watching the replay. That was just a smorgasbord.
Yeah, we'll take a look here at the replay here, see what happened to Devin McDonald. Kind of an innocent bystander to start it, but up top of 4-wide here as the 93 and 13 get together. Then both the 13s, the meat in the sandwich up in the middle. And it seems like Ty trying to get down to the bottom, didn't realize Jimmy was there, and Devin moving down the hill will make contact there, but I'm surprised that wasn't a bigger wreck, Carson, because that was mid-pack and a lot of cars right around that.
Yeah, Brad, it was just a big cluster, and there was a pinball effect there, Brad. One guy got into another, and then a couple guys wrecked.
Yeah, that's what it definitely looked like there. Probably drivers not happy with how they're getting bounced around, trying to get back down to that bottom side as quickly as possible, but very, very tough to do with cars around them. But here we go under our third caution flag here tonight on lap 47. And speaking about that lap count, Carson, we're already a third of the way done with the race here tonight. So even though it's a long race on paper, laps flying on by.
Yeah, Brad, cautions haven't been too bad, but we've had a couple in a row here. Like they say race and cautions read cautions, and we're getting some back-to-backs now.
Yeah, that we are. As some incredible racing here, especially around the mid-pack here tonight. These guys elbows out racing, going at it each and every lap. As I believe this time by at the stripe, Carson will be the one to go, so we will get the field re-racked, restacked, and get ready to send him on off for our third restart of the night. As well as while we're under yellow, Carson, got a little bit of action in the YouTube chat lands. We got Kenneth cheering on, I believe, Zach there and saying rock and roll. He's ready for an action-packed race. And then Al Smith out there tuning on in, enjoying the racing. He says another wild and rumble night at Irwindale. Yes, it is. As lap 50, we head on to with the green flag as the field dives down into turn number 1. 2x2 throughout the field. Modulewski pretty much the only car by himself with the kind of lane he wants to run. Now Chuck Darling up into P number 2. Side-by-side battle for third here. As Carson, it's only going to get more and more intense here. The guys that are around 15th know at this point they got to start going to the front.
Yeah,
As-
bro, I'm looking. Oh, as Zach Nichols gets into Fuquay there.
Yeah, and then that sent Greggy Long on a little bit of a ride there. He was wheeling that car to keep it facing the right direction.
Oh, there goes
Here we
Fuquay.
go. Somehow they keep it rolling there, Carson.
Man, everyone's beating on each other now, Brad.
Yeah. Still over halfway left in this race, but by the way these boys are driving, they're saying it's go time. As how about this? We got 13 cars all in a row with Caleb Ramsey, Zach Coyer, and Ty. And it looks like Ty hopefully doesn't have too much overheating issues on that red and white 13 machine. Has no bumper cover on the front of that thing.
Yeah, Brad, he's been in some incidents here tonight. He was beating bumpers so hard he knocked the nose off that car.
Yeah, that he did. So kind of have one gaggle of cars as Andrew
there goes
Payne
Andrew Payne.
goes
I
on
think that
around. He will
started
get
with-
tagged. And no yellow. There it
Yeah.
is.
I think that started with Tydelphia, Brad.
Yeah, we'll have to take a look at the replay there. And yeah, Carson, we'll get your play-by-play, see what you saw. And definitely happened in the middle of turns 1 and 2. Looks like Ty might have got moved up the track just a little bit by Andrew. Zach Coyer a little bit slow in that black 13 machine. And then, Ramsey gets tagged by Ty, Carson, like you said.
Yeah,
and that came down
start.
into Andrew.
Yeah, another pinball effect.
Yeah. And then looks like we had kind of a secondary incident. It looks like the 2 machine of John DeMeester had something coming off at turn number 4 here.
Oh, we have some unhappy drivers, Brad, after that one.
Oh, I bet we do. Tempers already running high as we just hit the halfway point, and that's what happened to the number 2 machine of John DeMeester, just losing the back end of it off of turn number 4. So Carson, tires starting to go away for some of these drivers, because I at least know from personal experience here with the street stocks, you can beat on that right rear, but once it starts to go, it's gone.
So, Brad, was that John DeMeester incident just before the other spin? Because it looks like John DeMeester was the claim of that caution.
Correct. They pretty much happened at the exact same time. John DeMeester's was off of turn number 4 there, and then the other incident was in the middle of 1 and 2.
And another update from race control along those same lines. No one claimed the last caution, Brad.
Oh man, so that's a little bit of drama here at ASRC. Unclaimed yellows will get reviewed by the admin team, and then of course 3 outcomes there. Driver could get found at fault, usually 2 cars involved, so either one of those drivers, as well as could be a good old iRacing incident, whether net code or just a hard racing incident. As here we go, Carson, getting ready to go back green here right at the halfway point. Matthew Modulewski has so far led all 63 laps, but here's Chuck Darling able to get down to the bottom in front of Ron Hart. First 2 single file
man.
now. Here we go, some contact further back. Jeff Dillon gets a tap in the rear from the 66 machine.
Yeah, Zane Cruz, Brad, who we were talking about earlier, sent it on that restart into turn 1 and made those drivers go 3 wide and just kind of forced his way in.
Yeah, Zane Cruz, a man on a mission. One of the biggest movers of the race so far. At the moment, though, the biggest mover is this 51 machine of Ron Hart, up a whopping 16 positions from where he took the green flag here 65 laps ago.
And I think Jimmy Gowker has a problem, Brad. He's dropping really hard and almost got spun just there in turn 1.
Yeah, definitely stuck up on the high side. That's never a fun time. And we do see a little bit of damage to that front of that car. So I don't know if maybe the driver's keeping an eye on that temperature gauge, just trying not to get that thing hot, trying to run that second lane. As I tell you what, folks, a lot is going on each and every lap. It's tough to see everything going on because here with these 15-second laps, things happen very, very quickly. As we take a look at our first side-by-side battle here, Jeff Dillon getting a shot in the right front quarter panel from the 13 here. I say we jump on board with Jeff Dillon, maybe as they make more contact through 3 and 4. Oh man, those guys aren't going to be happy with each other here. We ride on board with Jeff Dillon, looking back here at some of this drama here. As you can see just how precise you have to be around this racetrack. Run as low as you can, hit your marks, make sure you don't wash on up or leave that bottom side open, because once you leave that bottom side open, you could be on the wrong end of the freight train.
We had a big incident, Brett, with Zane Cruz and Greggy Long got into the back of Zane Cruz, sent him up the track, and then Fuquay went into the back of Cruz.
Oh man, some more bumper tag out here tonight. As we take a look here, Long gonna try and get to the inside of the 7. Oh, big time contact. That would shoot the 7 machine way up the racetrack. He somehow hangs onto that race car, but wow. I'm sure he's not a happy camper. Oh, here we go.
Here we go.
Big time jump into turn number 3.
About 7 cars involved in that one, Brett.
Yeah, that was definitely a big time wreck here. The first big one of the night here, as we finally see Andrew Hardings rolling from the incident. And Carson, I don't even know where to start looking from that. Probably the 7 of Zane Cruz and see what happens after that.
Yeah, Brett, he's been bouncing off some cars here tonight.
Yeah, so we'll take a look at the 7 of Zane Cruz. Of course, in 1 and 2 got shipped up the hill there, then gets ran pretty wide from Logan Powers there. Then the 13 of Ty tries to make an aggressive move, but locks up the right front. And I don't know how Andrew Hardings got out of shape, but he came across the track facing 90 degrees of where he was supposed to be. As we'll take a look here, looking at the 45 machine and see what happened to Hardings. Hardings at the time was running right around the 15th position there. And then, kind of door slammed with Shane O'Neill, and then Hardings kind of gets the whip weight going, overcorrects, and Scott Negus, a innocent bystander.
Yeah, Brad.
Negus, a hard hit there.
I think that ended Scott Negus's night.
Yeah, let's see, riding on board with Negus here, and you'll just see a car come flying across the track there, and oh yeah, a big time hit for that red number 55 machine. So yeah, Carson, we usually like to try and chat with a few drivers during these yellows, but here at such a small track, you know, we don't really get time too much to even kind of catch our breath, because by the time we're done looking at the replay to bring out the yellow, it's about time to go back green flag here.
Yeah, Brent, I think if we talked to one of these drivers, they wouldn't be too happy right now.
Yeah, I would bet that as well. So here we go off of turn number 4. I think this time by we should see the 1 to go. So the field already kind of mostly re-racked and restacked. It looks like here at the moment 23 cars still on the lead lap here of the 29 that took the green flag. So still quite a bit of cars out here tonight. As 3 and 4, the field will come Modulewski, Darling on the front row. A little bit of stack ups. Luckily, everyone able to keep it rolling. And here we go. Teammates battling for second. Ron Hart, Chuck Darling side by side. And how about this guy? Hayden Swank has been quietly making his way to the front of the field. Now to the inside of Ron Hart. Does Ron shut the door? He tries to. Hayden able to keep a nose in, but not quite able to keep it there.
Nope.
As we will slow down the pace. We get our 6th yellow flag here, Carson. As we'll try and see what brought out that most recent yellow. Looks like maybe the 7 car of Zane Cruz. Yeah, he's way back from the back of the field here.
Yeah, bro, I'm trying to see with my replay, but iRacing not cooperating with me right now.
Yeah. So we see here Cruz on the bottom of 3 wide with Ramsey and Shane O'Neill at least in 3 and 4. Then back to 2 wide here. And oh, Ramsey maybe thought Cruz is going to be a little bit lower on entry, able to kind of snag onto the right rear quarter panel of the 7 and turn him around and left side into the wall there into turn number 1.
And Caleb Ramsey was the claim for that caution, Brett.
Alrighty, so that kind of blue and green 13 machine on the claim there with Caleb Ramsey. So I would say definitely a good claim there from the one of the 13 cars out here on track tonight. As it seems like the field here 2 to green here, so next time by at the stripe will be then 1 to green. So field gonna stay slowed down for a little bit more. As here we go, Carson, inside of 40 laps. If the gloves weren't already off, they'll be off from here on out.
Yeah, this race is quickly turning into a demo derby, Brett.
Yeah, these guys aren't afraid to lean on each other here tonight, and we can definitely see that with the amount of crinkled fenders and probably hurt feelings. All right, well, new driver on the front row here. It'll be Matthew Modulewski, still leading every single lap so far, but now Ron Hart on the outside in the 51.
How about this run, though, from Ron Hart, charging through the field from 20th all the way up to 2nd here.
Yeah, up 18 positions. The question is, does he get freight trained up top? Sadly had that happen to him last week at Martinsville, but able to slam the door shut on Hayden Swank into turn number 3 there.
As the question is, with all these guys beating and banging on each other, having damage, wearing out their tires, does anyone have anything for Matthew Modulewski?
Yeah, that is going to be the question to ask here tonight, as he has been lights out in front of this field here, has led all 89 laps so far, but you know, he still has to lead the most important lap by the end of this one. A little bit of a drift there in 3 and 4 from the 003 machine of Mike McCaskill. Able to wheel that car there, keep it rolling, and didn't lose too much time here, as now we see the top 5 all single filed out here, as now Greg Yulong able to get clear from Jeff Dillon. Here comes Stephen Rochford. He's been kind of quiet to start the season, but last season he walked away with the LaPlante Challenge, so that 66 has a lot of speed, and trying to show it here in race number 3 tonight.
Yeah, bro, I'm starting to lose track of how many cautions we have, and I'm counting how many modifieds are out there on the track.
Yeah, how many cars without some bumper covers out here tonight, as we take a look a little bit deeper in the field at some side-by-side battles, but so far now the top 10 all single filed out here. It's 3 wide a little bit further in the back. Still 3 wide as they roar down the backstretch here and able to make it work there for the moment. And yes, they do. So heck of a job by these drivers out here tonight to be able to race 3 wide at Irwindale Mini. I would have never dreamed of it in a million years.
We see a lot of drivers right now kind of partnering up, Brett. 2 cars side by side, or bumper to bumper, I should say, tangoing with each other.
Yeah, at this point, you pretty much have whatever you have in these race cars here. Just trying to make it to the end, both in the tire department and in the engine life department now, as that became a big factor for a lot of these guys out here. As we see Devin McDonald here kind of on the wrong side of the freight train, will drop out of the top 10 here. Currently battling with Logan Powers. That will be for P number 11. So luckily for Devin, able to find a gap, able to get back down to that bottom side. As it sounds like we had another car just blow up there, Carson. Not sure.
Yeah.
Looks like the 7 of Zane Cruz out here slow on the racetrack, and yeah. I heard a motor grenade, and it was the 7 machine. Man, and you got to feel bad for these drivers here with these motors, because not everyone can see their gauges, especially where they sit in the cockpit. So just to have a motor grenade like that in a race definitely has to be heartbreaking. And I think even Devin McDonald might have grenaded his motor as well. He's slow as well. Yeah, Devin McDonald also blew up at the exact same time in the 18. Wow. Wow, 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 Carson. So that will take out 2 more cars here tonight, and that leaves 21 out on the racetrack.
And it just goes to show with these cars how much the front end damage matters.
Yeah, that definitely does here, as I think we even have a damaged motor out on track that's limping on around. Yeah, look at this. Logan Powers, smoke billowing out the back of the 31 machine.
I saw that one happen in real time when he was racing with Zach Nichols.
Yeah, you can see the smoke out of the back of the 31 here, so that is something you definitely don't want to see. Definitely going to be down on power. And with that, you know, it's like, man, how much more life, if any, does that motor even have? Well, with these yellows, Carson, we close on into 20 laps to go. So it's about to get even more wild here at the closing stages of race number 3 of the Race 1 Street Stock Series here with ASRC.
And Brett, once you get damage on the front end like that and your temps start soaring, what do you do to counteract those temps to keep from blowing the motor?
The only thing you can do once you're in the car, Carson, is just keep those engine temps down by not turning as much RPMs. And what that ultimately means is probably not going full throttle as much, so you will give up any track position you have out here on track, but you at least will be able to finish the race. As here we go, restart will kick us off for 20 to go, and I heard from race control there, Carson, they're going to try and race it to the end without a competition caution to cool off these cars. Field will dive down into turns 1 and 2 side by side for second. Hayden Swank does have a position to the inside of Ron Hart. They will make contact in 3 and 4. Swank big time sideways, 3 wide behind them.
Yeah, we got a 3-car battle here with Fuquay, the 23 and the 66 of Rochefort. Oh, and the 23 really dooring Fuquay there, Brett.
Yeah, that he does. Now Greggy Long out of shape. He somehow hangs onto that race car. Wow. There should have been probably 3 or 4 yellows there, but we stay green as Jeff Dillon now big time out of sorts. Holy smokes, Carson. These guys are throwing haymakers at each other to the finish of this one. As this time by at the stripe, we will have 16 laps to go here and a little bit of smoke out on the track. I think we got some cars just trying to putt on around as Hayden Swank still to the inside of Ron Hart for his second place here.
Yeah, Brandon, so tough to pass here because the low line is the preferred line and you just can just hold the car down there and block.
Yeah, a few guys we haven't talked about I want to give a shout out to at the end here. Braden Cook up into P number 15. Dave Payton goes on around here off of turn number 4. They will somehow stay green here as he will try and figure out where he needs to go. So last week's winner, a tough break here in the 38 as he will go one lap down. But Ron Hart able to hang on to P number 2 on the outside, but that has let Modulewski run on away to a second lead here with 13 laps to go. But some guys I did want to shout out to now side by side is of course Scott Rochford and Braden Cook, both of them inside the top 15 and having some really solid runs, surviving out here tonight, both the 38 and the 77.
Yeah, Brett, that Rochford, the 77 of Scott Rochford's been sneaky fast, and that car looks pretty clean.
Yeah, that it does, able to keep out of all the chaos here we've had so far here tonight. But that time by for Matthew Modulewski, 2 open palms, 10 to go. Now make it 9 laps to go here at the stripe.
Someone else just blew up, Brett. I heard it.
All right, we'll have to keep an eye, see if a car is very slow out here. As it looks like for at least me at the moment, we see everyone still out on track here with 8 laps to go. But you can see Logan Powers with that.
The 31 still.
Yeah, that Logan Powers with that engine damage going 1 lap down there, still smoking, but somehow that motor's running on probably 4 cylinders.
What is he, losing a cylinder a lap, Brett?
It sure seems like it, especially the way that car's smoking. And I think at this time, you know, this is one of our longest runs here. I think drivers have to kind of make sure they keep the motor under them to the end here. It would be such a heartbreak to blow up a motor here with less than 5 laps to go. As the field single files out here, Shane O'Neill trying to work around Jimmy Gauker. Gauker trying to get back up into the top 10 here, but we'll have some distance to go to catch Greggy Long there. But, oh man, Carson, we get a yellow flag with 5 to go. That means we'll probably have a green-white checkered here at the end. We'll have to see. Did you see anything to bring out that yellow?
Yeah, Brett, if my replay will cooperate with me, I'll try to see.
Alrighty, because yeah, my little doodad, it doesn't show anything for a car crashing. As maybe the 2 of John DeMeester are in around that time.
Yeah, I don't see him going around any, Brett. He's just got into the 003 of Mike McCaskill.
Yeah, so that definitely wouldn't have brought out a yellow. So it might have been a competition caution to prevent these cars from blowing on up. So, and Carson, I don't know if you can see, but is this a 1 attempt at a green-white checkered, or do we have multiple here in the Race 1 Wrap Street Stock Series?
Yeah, Brett, it looks like there's only 1. I don't see anything else indicating otherwise, and that's what popped up here in Race Control's chat. So I think we're just going to have 1 attempt at a green-white checkered here tonight.
All right, here we go. Lights are out. So for the final restart of the night here, our one attempt at a green-white checkered. Can Matthew Modulewski pull a Dave Payne from last week lead flag to flag? We'll find out here as we go, as Ron Hart tried to jump it there. Shane O'Neill blown up in the back, and it's a 2-lap shootout. The slugfest is on as they go 3 wide down the backstretch. Ron will get tapped. He'll get another shot here. Hayden Swank going to try and paint the inside lane. One more lap to go. We're racing back to the stripe. Modulewski able.
Doors slamming everywhere.
Yeah, that they are through the field, but off of turn number 4. Matthew Modulewski will pick up the win here at Irwindale Inner as Hayden Swank will finish second, Ron Hart third. What else are you hearing, Carson?
Jimmy Gauker got turned hard into the turn 4 wall. I hope he's all right.
All right, we'll take a look there at the end for the number 2 machine. Coming off of turn number 4, he said he made hard contact. Yeah, we take a look here, looking at the Gauker Racing machine. Number 2 has Jeff Dillon to his outside. Dillon four-wheel drifting, and yeah, and oh man, like you said, Carson, hard into the barrels, and I bet you that will be an interesting live stream there, checking it out with Gauker with that. As the 53 machine will pull to the front stretch, stop it right at the line. So Carson, we'll be right back here after a quick commercial break to talk to our top 3.
Yeah, bro, a lot of calamity here tonight. A couple drivers dropping out, but we'll talk to these guys and see what they thought of this race.
Yeah, that we will. We'll get their thoughts, as I'm sure they had a heck of a time in there. So, folks, we'll be right back after a commercial break with our post-race show, talking with our top 3 finishers. So don't go anywhere. We will be right back.
iRacing is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all around the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics, engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 170,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsports organizations like NASCAR to deliver virtual races based on the real-life NASCAR Cup Series, as well as many other series on the NASCAR ladder. iRacing also features team racing, providing a variety of options for members to create and manage their own teams. Race with friends or real-world teammates in full-length endurance events like the 24 Hours of Daytona, Spa 24, or the Bathurst 12 Hour. Additional partners include IMSA, World of Outlaws, Supercars, and IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own Indianapolis 500, Bathurst 1000, Chili Bowl, and many more iconic events. This is iRacing, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car. Sign up today at iRacing.com.
Alrighty, folks, we come back here to the post-race show here, and the first driver we will be talking to will be the 51 machine of Ron Hart. Ron, do you got a copy of Spread the Jet in the booth here?
Yeah, bro, I got you.
Alrighty, man. Crazy race out here at Irwindale Inner. I know you always do good here, but man, did you start deep.
Yeah, I missed her a little bit in qualifying. I went for the fences and tried a little bit of a different line in qualifying. I found something right at the end of practice and tried to carry it over and just didn't work out. So made for a fun race. Started 20th. I don't think we put a scratch on it hardly, and got up there to battle for the win. So it was good.
Yeah, that it looked like you had a bunch of fun out there tonight, and yeah, going all the way up from 20th to P3, biggest mover of the race, up 17 positions. I mean, this place looked like it was very hard to pass. I mean, how'd you get through the field? Just to let everyone else kind of clear the path for you?
Just, I guess, experience, man. This is probably my favorite track on here, and I think a lot of guys kind of run it wrong in the race and just taking advantage of guys making mistakes. So, I think I run a little different line than most of them do, and it works out and makes passing pretty easy once you catch somebody and you can set them up and make a pass. So, a lot of good passes, a lot of really good racing tonight too. Was just a good run up through there.
Yeah, that it was for you, Ron, here tonight. Awesome job. It was great watching you slice and dice through the field. But the big kind of X factor I got to ask you, and how kind of was stressful for you, or what kind of changed the mindset, was that old temperature gauge in these cars apparently tonight.
I mean, I'm a little frustrated, I think, with the officiating here tonight. The guys made their bed when they got damage on the nose. You can't get damage on these cars, or it overheats. I didn't touch anything with the nose the whole night, and I had the Monty and never got over 220. So, I mean, guys made their own beds by running into stuff and getting damage, and it was clear if you pitted and fixed it, you took your medicine, that it wouldn't be a problem anymore. So, um, you know, it kind of hampered us who ran it right and didn't have the problems that other people had because we took care of our stuff. So that was frustrating. But other than that, man, it was a good race, and I know everybody tries to do their best, but overall, I just hate to see the guys who got damaged, get rewarded for that.
Yeah, that definitely, I could see how that is very, very frustrating here, because it seemed like quite a bit of times, man, we would have had some really long runs here, which was very surprising here, and I'm sure would have put on some great racing.
Yeah, I felt like I was good the long run and never really got a chance to show that. And even coming there with 3 to go, I was catching back up to that guy for the lead there, and we threw a count caution with 3 to go. Just tough, man. But they're trying to put on the best show and give everybody a chance. So thanks for you guys putting it on. It's cool to see the car counts. I mean, I'll chalk tonight up as another good race for that track. We had a lot of good racing, a lot of green flag, and looking forward to next week.
Yeah, I tell you what, next week will be a fun one at Rockingham. That place will be definitely wild. So, a few last couple questions before we let you go, Ron. I know you got some good plans for the upcoming race season in real life. If you don't mind sharing what your plans are for 2025.
Yeah, so we're gonna go modified racing up at Owasso. It's always been a goal of mine as I was a kid. My favorite class to go race a mod, and getting the opportunity to do it this year. We got our feet wet last year and was happy and ran top 5 once and won a fast heat and had some speed. Hopefully we can build off of that and then chase a championship at Owasso. So the goal is to run the first 3 or 4 races, and if we're in the points, we're going to skip the big shows and the non-points events and just focus on the title. And if we have a bad start to the year, we're going to run them all. So we'll see how it goes, and we'll kind of play it by ear.
Yeah, that place is definitely very, very impressive what they're doing up at Owasso. So can't wait to stay up to date with your racing this season, Ron, and see how you're doing. And best of luck, of course, in that endeavor.
Yeah, but I hope we see you out there again this year. Look forward to it.
Yeah, always great stuff. Well, first time talking to you this season. I know you haven't had the best of luck here to kick it on off, but one thing I do like to ask all the drivers, get a little bit of insight, a little bit of insight for myself and maybe some people watching at home. Ron, what do you have in front of you for sim setup wise? Wheels, pedals, maybe what are you looking at as well?
I'm blessed, man. I used my COVID money. So thank you to old Biden there for giving me the COVID money back in the day to get a rig that I kind of always wanted. So I got the Fantech wheel. I got the Club Sport pedals that I've had for a while. I think that makes the difference. And then I splurged and got me the 3 screens back in COVID. So, this setup, if you would have showed 16-year-old me racing N2003 on a 16-inch TV screen, it would have been pretty jealous. So it's cool, man. And it definitely helps and makes it fun.
Yeah, that it does. Those triple screens, I tell people, are always a game changer, especially racing close quarters like we see here in ASRC.
Yeah, tonight it's just such a help on knowing when you're 3 wide, how tight you can run guys, and you just got to run so tight, just like in real life, to be fast, and it just makes it so much easier.
Yeah, that it does, Ron. Well, we'll ask you one final question here, let you get on going with a podium finish here, Ron. Before we let you go, I'm going to go hand over the mic to you and thank who you got to thank. Either sponsors on the car, some of those all-important teammates, or maybe some people tuning on in at home with the broadcast.
Yeah, I mean, first thanks to sponsor Better Buy Muffler and Brakes for coming on and helping me in real life and here. Thanks to Chuck Darling, man, giving me the motivation. You know, an old guy like him getting out there, running good, leading the points. You know, kicking my ass in this car. I'm not very good in this car, and seeing him be able to do that. You know, got to get up there and run with him. Can't let that happen. So, appreciate you guys putting on this league. It's been a really fun league the last couple of weeks, and you know, not my favorite car at all, but running with these guys makes it fun. And thanks for you guys putting the time into the broadcast.
All righty. Well, Ron, appreciate the kind words. And hopefully, my man, this kicks off a strong streak for you and some good luck here for the next couple weeks, especially at Rockingham.
Thanks, Brett. Talk to you soon.
All righty. Well, that was Ron Hart. Carson, got anything else to add there?
It's always enjoyable talking to Ron Hart. He pushes the car hard and can slide it around, and did good tonight keeping the nose clean and just dooring guys and not getting too much damage, Brett.
Yep, and that sounded like was the key here tonight. So we'll now talk to our runner-up finisher, that being the 35 machine of Hayden Swank. Hayden, do you got a copy? It's Brett the Jet in the booth here.
Yes, sir. I got you. How are y'all?
Oh, we are not too bad. How you feeling after 125 laps, but almost kind of a super speedway mentality of keeping an eye on that water temperature gauge?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not sure what race I expected coming into tonight. Quarter-mile track. I mean, anything can happen. But luckily we were able to manage it. I mean, it was it's undoubtedly my best run in either ASRC series, you know, all season long. So he was really excited to be here.
Yeah, we're excited to have you, Hayden. It's always a great time seeing that 35 machine load on up into a session here. And yeah, tonight wasn't an easy one by any means. A lot of contact throughout the field. And how'd you driving up 11 positions from where you started, just missing out on the invert? I mean, what'd you figure out to get through the field? Because it looked tough to pass, as well as trying to keep that nose clean to prevent it from overheating.
Yeah, I mean, I've had nothing but bad luck all season. It has been a rough run from Kern to Martinsville. Had some good runs going, but just kind of got them squandered there at the end. So it felt like more of the same when we qualified one position off of what would have been pole after invert. But luckily, I kind of started to figure it out. I was figuring out like a lot more roll speed. And then, to be honest, what really made the difference for me tonight was the gamemanship. I just really realized how ridiculously strong the inside was, and on a lot of short runs I was expecting them tonight, so I was really just focused on making sure I was in an odd number position at basically all times. If I could pass another car but it would put me in sixth, it would put me in eighth, I wouldn't pass them. So I was just doing the best I can to set myself up well for the restarts, because that seemed to be where you'd be able to make up the most spots.
Yeah, and tonight a lot of restarts here, especially with that overheating thing and those competition cautions. So you definitely were thinking big picture there and setting yourself up right. Has to feel good to walk away with a P number 2 with all that work then.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, this type of racing, at first I kind of rolled my eyes, but this is what I grew up doing. Bandoleros, Legends cars in the quarter miles. It sounds silly, but like about 20 laps in, it all came back to me, and it was a lot of fun. So definitely thankful to have this kind of run tonight, and huge thanks to everybody, and congrats on Matt to an impressive win. That was a good run.
Yeah, that it was. Well, Hayden, before we let you go, I'd like to ask a couple things. So first time talking to you post-race this season. Hopefully a few more before it's all said and done. But I always like to ask, what do you got for a sim setup here in front of you? Wheels, pedals, or maybe what are you looking at these days?
Yeah. It's funny you should bring that up today. This is actually a really sad day. After 5 years of service, I had to retire my Logitech G29, which I immediately replaced with another Logitech G29. I don't think you need anything special to be successful here on iRacing. It's served me well for half a decade, and hopefully it'll do another half a decade just fine. So we got that, and then got just a standard single 28-inch monitor. That one, I'm not gonna lie, I got like the upgrade to triple screen to be able to get a little more peripheral, a little more information that way. And as always, the MSI laptop. I mean, it's all reliable. So, just thankful thankful to be here. Another good finish, and yeah, couldn't do it without my setup. You don't need anything super fancy to run with the best here.
Yeah, and that setup definitely proves that, Hayden. You see, especially nowadays, people getting crazy with $10,000 plus sim setups. Even it's like, man, I don't think you need all that to go out there and be fast, and you definitely prove that each week. Let's say.
Yeah. That's definitely. I don't want to say it's the goal, but I mean, I'm a Ty Majeski fan. What can I say? The G29, like I said, served me well, but just gave up today, so I had another one sitting there ready to go. And luckily, never missed a beat.
Yeah, that is awesome. Luckily, able to plug and play and get back out there without changing anything. So awesome job here tonight, Hayden, with the runner-up. But before we let you go and celebrate the runner-up, one final thing is, of course, handing the mic over to you and thanking who you got to thank, either sponsors, some teammates, or maybe some people even tuning on with the broadcast here.
Yeah, huge thing. Just a huge shout out to the ASRC Turn 3 for putting this show on every week. I think this is just so far, we're 3 races in. I think this is the best this series has ever been. I mean, we've got incredible racers. The show's been getting better and better. So, always excited to race here, and not even sure where we're going next week, but I will be there.
Yeah, we're always excited to have you, Hayden, out there. Having some great runs. Always great to battle with you. I always look forward to when I was behind the wheel. And yeah, next week we head to one of our bigger tracks, Rockingham in the street stocks.
Oh, okay, that'll be interesting. These, if I remember correctly, we've had a few good battles there, so looking forward to it.
Yeah, that it is. As long as you can survive those big whops through 3 and 4, right?
Yeah, that's the ticket. Might have to move up a lane or two, but it should be a good show. First big track of the season.
Yeah, I agree as well. That place we can have all 30 cars there and be all right. So, Hayden, once again, congrats with the runner-up finish. I'm sure we'll be talking to you again, but for at least tonight, take care and congrats again.
Thank you. Yeah, it was always a good time talking to y'all.
Alrighty, Carson, that was our runner-up finisher sneaking away with P number 2 there right at the stripe, Hayden Swank.
Yeah, Brad, big move for him tonight as well, up 11 positions. So it seemed like starting at the front, well, starting first was important, but starting up front didn't really matter here tonight.
Yeah, that it didn't. And like Hayden said, the key for him was always restarting on those inside lanes, and I think that paid off big time for the 35. Alrighty, well then, we only have one more car left, and that is the car down in victory lane here tonight for the Race 1 Street Stocks here at Irwindale Inner. It is the 53 machine, or the 099, of Matthew Moduleski. Matthew, do you got a copy?
Hey, hello guys.
How are we doing tonight, my man? You go flag to flag here at Irwindale Mini. Man, you had to be stressing, hearing about the overheating one, and then 2, all of those cautions that it brought with it.
Well, yeah, I was a little bit. I just I knew how to be calm there. You know, starting or qualifying 12th and making the invert and starting first, I knew I had a big chance of going flag to flag, and it was good. It was a little hectic, with the cautions, but actually I feel like it helped a little bit. I was slipping and sliding. You get a 20 lap run in and tires are getting greasy, so but no, it was fun.
Yeah, it definitely looked like a bunch of fun there. Luckily, no big moments for you out here tonight. No real cars beating or banging around you. So that's always a good thing, at least once I get done with the race, feeling that feeling. But overall, like you said, able to get the invert roll right, start on the pole. I mean, what'd you kind of figure out with leading this field to hit your marks, as well as not push on up or make a mistake to let someone get to that inside of you?
Well, I knew on the restarts, it starts in the first corner. You don't want to slide up or nothing, give a chance to take that position away from you, and just be calm. I was pretty calm at that, um, and I was riding hard, that's for sure. So
Yeah, it definitely, you know, these cars are kind of a very finicky car that you push a little bit, you feel the right rear there, then all of a sudden, if it drops out from under you, it's pretty much gone.
Oh yeah, yep. I had a few instances with that for sure. A couple laps, but no, it was good. You know, these guys they're hard to race with. You know, and you know, starting up front with them, I knew it was go time. So
Yeah, that it definitely was. And speaking about go time, I mean, what was going through your mind? What was your thought process going into that last yellow and that green white checkered? You knew that anything could happen there. You know, everyone's going to be sailing it on in there. What was your thought process, and then how did you think you executed?
you know, my thought process was, you know, not going, you know, driving in too crazy because if you know, Ron had the jump on me on the outside, I could, you know, the bottom was just so good, and just you know being poised and uh, it was good. Um, you know, I mean, first win. I mean, but
Yeah, and
but
to
no,
go,
yeah,
yeah,
no,
to
you're
go,
good.
yeah, sorry about that. But yeah, to
Yep.
go along with that, first ever ASRC win to win against some of the names we have in here, some of the longtime members, some of the newer guys. I mean, some great names out here each and every week. To go out here, win like you did here tonight, put a win column in ASRC forever, man. I mean, how does that feel overall?
No, it feels real good. You know, I've always wanted one in this tough class, you know. And I can finally say I did it. So,
Yeah, definitely partying down there all night for you and your crew here. And one thing I like to ask guys, especially first time chatting with them in a season, is get a little insight about your sim setup. You know, that's always a fun thing to kind of ask, and get what kind of different drivers are racing with what. So, Matt, what do you got for maybe wheel
uh,
pedals and monitors around you?
I just got a Thrustmaster wheel, and then I got Fanatec pedals, load cells. So that's what I got.
Okay, nice. Always a good choice there. That's
Yep.
pretty similar to my setup here at the moment. And I tell you what, as you showed off tonight, you know, you don't need all the crazy fancy stuff to go out there, have fun, and even pick up wins with some of the best.
Yep. So,
Alrighty, well, awesome stuff, Matt. It was great talking to you here tonight. Once again, huge congrats on the first ever ASRC win. But before we let you go and have the party all night long over there, I'm going to go hand over the mic to you and thank who you got to thank. Either sponsors on the car, some of those all-important teammates, or maybe some people tuning on in with the broadcast.
no, I gotta thank Ace Powder Coating. We do a bunch of powder coating for race cars. You know, we got a 16-foot oven. And whatever you need, we'll take care of you. So,
Awesome stuff. Yeah, that's definitely really cool there. And how many cars do you think you guys have power coated over the years then?
oh, the last 3 years, I would say about we're getting to 60 cars.
Woo! Yeah,
So,
that's definitely a lot of power coding over there. So
yeah.
awesome stuff there, Matt. Appreciate you taking the time chatting with us. And yeah, we'll let you go celebrate the win. And once again, congrats on the win here tonight at Irwindale Inner.
Yep. Thank you.
Alrighty, Carson, that was our winner, Matthew Moduleski, down in victory lane for his first ever ASRC win. You know he's got to be pumped up about it.
Yeah, Brett, congrats to him. The first one's always special and memorable, and he got done in dominating fashion, wire to wire here tonight. And it just showed how important it was to be out front pacing this field here at a small little tough track like this.
Yeah, definitely that was the case here tonight, Carson, as Matthew Moduleski walking away with the win. So what do you say we head on over and run through tonight's finishing results after a crazy 125 laps?
Yeah, crazy race. Some unhappy drivers. We saw a lot of retirements from the race, and I think race control is going to have a fun one with this.
Yeah, I think so as well. So let's head on over and go through tonight's race results here at Irwindale. As we will get them up on screen, there we go. I don't know why we have Ron Hart's car there on the screen, but looks like he's going to hang out here with the post-race show. So Matthew Modulewski in the 099 or the 53 on the car will pick up the win here tonight. Second place, the second driver we got to talk to was the 35 of Hayden Swank. Finally getting some of that good luck here and getting to finish where he definitely wants to be finishing at. And then to round out our podium here tonight was the 51 machine of Ron Hart. Finishing in P number 4, the overall short track points leader here at the moment, the 11 of Jaden Kratachi. So he's probably going to stretch that out a little bit more. So a great night for him. He's leading the points, the overall points for both the street stocks and the late model stocks. So really cool stuff there from Jaden. And then in 5th place, I think with this finish, he's going to walk away still our points leader, Carson. It will be the 88 of Chuck Darling.
Yeah, Brian, to pick up from there, quick time driver here tonight, started 12th due to the invert and moved all the way up to 6th, up 6 spots, was the 44 of Zach Nichols. Finishing behind him in 7th was the 06 of Mark Fuquay. Behind him in the 8th position was the 66 car of Stephen Rochford. 9th will go to the 038 of Braden Cook. And then to round out your top 10, we saw him have a lot of beating and banging incidents tonight, was the 93 of Andrew Payne.
And then just outside of the top 10 there, finishing in P number 11, will be the 52 of Jeff Dillon. Then in 12th is the 23, that was Greggy Long. 13th will be car 013 of Caleb Ramsey. 14th going to Scott Rockford in the 077. And then rounding out the top 15 will be the 13 of Zach Coyer.
And then to pick up from there, finishing 16th, the driver who started almost at the back, a pretty good move for him, was the 003 of Mike McCaskill. Behind him, we saw his hard hit on a turn 4 there on the last lap. Finishing 17th was the 02 of Jimmy Gowker. 18th, tough race for Shane O'Neill. We saw him in an early caution that he claimed in the 24 car. 19th will go to John DeMeester in the 2, the last car in the lead lap, and then finishing 20th. We saw him spin to the infield in last week's winner. A tough race here tonight. 1 lap down will be the 38 Dave Payne.
Yeah, then after Dave finishing in 21st will be Logan Powers. 22nd going to Zane Cruz. 23rd is Devin McDonald. 24th, Andrew Hardings. And then 25th going to Ty Delphia.
And I forgot him in the initial grid because he did not run a qualifying time, but finishing 26th. Retirement for him tonight was the 55 of Scott Negus. 27th, another guy who had a tough run, the 25 of Kobe Garrett. And then 28th will go to Jason Griffith. We saw him blow his motor in the 033. And then I don't know if Scott Austin even pulled out there, but he's listed as 29th in the 05.
Yeah, did not do a lap for Austin there. So that will do it for the finishing results from race number 3 at Irwindale Speedway. And one thing I do have to mention here tonight is, of course, ASRC's partnership with Race 1 Wraps. As you can see on your screen, Race 1 Wraps can do a lot of really cool stuff there, from t-shirts to race car and commercial wraps, as well as some sponsor posters and all sorts of cool stuff. So once again, want to give a big shout out to Race 1 Wraps. You can find them on Race 1 there on Facebook. So Carson, I think that will mostly do it for tonight. What are some of your closing statements and closing thoughts?
Well, Brett, at this 3rd mile track here, a nice sunny day, beautiful for everyone who was watching, but the racers not as pleased with the race here tonight. What do you think, Brett?
Yeah, I think so. I think we have some crinkle fenders and some hurt feelings by the end of this one, but that's all right. We'll go into Rockingham and pick back up the racing action there. So next Wednesday here on the Turn 3 Racing Network, we will come live here at the same time, same place for race number 4 of the Race 1 Wrap Street Stock Series here with ASRC over at Rockingham. So I believe that will do it here. Once again, got to thank Race One Wraps coming on board. Also partnering with ASRC, we have LaPlante Racing Products. Boardwalk Subs coming on board here with the caution flags, and of course Postma Flooring with the late model stocks. You want to find out more, you can find out more by looking up American Sim Racing Club on all things social media, both Facebook, X, and Discord. So once again, gotta of course shout out the sponsors. Also gotta shout out to my man here in the booth, Carson. Great job here tonight. Always a pleasure having you with me up here in the booth, and I tell you what, it is always a great time. So once again, thank you big time, buddy.
Yeah, no problem, bro. It was a lot of fun here tonight. We got to see a lot of drama, and I don't know, some of this might not be dead this week. It might carry over into next week.
Yeah, race car drivers definitely have long memories.
Oh,
So
yeah.
we will have to keep that in mind as we head to race number 4. So once again, everyone, hopefully everyone has a great rest of their week. Stay safe, stay healthy, and we will catch you guys in 1 week time. So I've been Brett the Jet in the booth with Turn 3 Racing Network. Turn 3 has some of the best sim racing action most nights of the week and the weekend. So if you're ever bored, want to watch some cool sim racing, be sure to check us on out. Stay tuned. As well as we got to give a big shout out to Premier Setups, once again working with Turn 3 Racing Network here. And if you guys want to support them, there is a link in the description, as well as some other cool links in the description, Carson. There are some onboards with some of the drivers here. We have Jaden Kratachi, Zach Nichols, and Jimmy Gauker. I definitely want to jump onto Jimmy's stream after this to see that reaction to the finish.
Yeah, Brett. I don't think you'd be too pleased, but that was a big hit. We'll have to see if he's still with us.
Yeah, we will have to check that out and see. So that will do it for us here tonight at Irwindale. We'll catch you in 1 week's time. So once again, thanks again for everyone tuning on in, both live and replay, and everyone jumping in the YouTube chat. So we will, I have been Brett the Jet in the booth, and I just flew by you. Have a good one.
See ya, everyone. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next week.